You're probably noticing, the number of smiles on our face. Team Delta, Team Adams, Team all of us who really realize how this is such an important endeavor that we are putting in place today as we announce the Safe Sleep initiative that we're doing here in the borough of Brooklyn. And I cannot thank Dr. Maybank, the Assistant Commissioner of the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, for her expertise on this issue and for teaming with us in the mayor's office for really understanding how important this issue is. Joe Shammy and I, and his dad is here. We talked about this about a year ago. How do we make the issue around SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, thing of the past here in the borough of Brooklyn? And so we came together to have a twofold operation. One involved Dr. Maybank to give us the expert information that we needed, and the second involved his years of providing those important items such as a crib and a safe place for our children and our babies to sleep. And with that, we produced a video where it will give family members basic and simple information on how to ensure that their bundle of joy continue to be an important part of their lives. And so we're going to show that video, but I want to thank some of the people who were involved. Again, the Delta team, who are all wearing shirts here, and we just need to give the Delta team a hand. It's more than making a crib. When you understand you are creating a piece of furniture that is going to hold the pride and joy of a family, and it's truly remarkable the level of energy that they show in this endeavor. We want to thank the New York City Family Justice Center in Brooklyn, the Mayor's Office to Combat Domestic Violence, Brooklyn District Attorney's Office, Ken Thompson and his staff, Catholic Charities, Best Eye Campaign Against Hunger, Mixed Tech Organization, Center for Family Life, Fort Greene SNAP, Brookdale Healthy Families Program, Lutheran Medical Center, Serenity House Family Residence, and our community boards, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 13. We also want to thank all of our area hospitals, Lutheran Hospital, Brookdale Hospital, New York Methodist Hospital, and my staff, probably the top staff here, who is committed to this issue more than anyone, is our mommy-to-be, Atalia. We want to thank we know you were born in Brooklyn. We also want to thank Lori Lewis, my Director of External Affairs, and Joel Eisendorfer. When you look at these numbers, and I think to fully appreciate what we are attempting to do, you really need to focus on this number and this stat that really touched me. In 2010, 2,000 babies died of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. SIDS is the leading cause of death among babies between 1 month and 1 year old. Parents are devastated when something like this takes place. And what is more troubling, that we can do something about it by being more proactive. We can do something about it by ensuring that we give families basic information. And the goal here, as we use Brooklyn as the place where we start off with one, providing the basic information that is needed to empower parents and families, but two, we also want to go further than that. Delta Cribs has partnered with not only the Borough President's Office, but other local community-based organizations, and we're giving given to families. 400 families will receive cribs so that they can have a safe, clean environment for their children. And some of those family members are here today, and we just want to thank them because they are the face of individuals who realize how important it is to have a safe place for their families to sleep. So right now, I want to turn it over to the great Dr. Maybank, the Assistant Commissioner of the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, our partner on this initiative. Dr. Maybank.
Thank you. Good afternoon or good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to congratulate Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams and his team, as well as Joe Shammy of Delta Cribs for really partnering with us to put this on. You know, it's very important that I'm a pediatrician, and I'm a believer that if we don't have healthy children, we can't have healthy adults. And the way in which children sleep becomes very important to creating that health. And it's such a simple message that sometimes we realize it's just not getting out to parents. Parenthood is very stressful. It's a very busy time. And we know parents want to do the best that they can for their children, but oftentimes they don't have the information, or they're just trying to make things and make ends meet. And so understanding that a sleep environment and how we create it can be, and create health for your child, is so important. And so what we say, and I'm sure Joe is also going to kind of tap into this, and we'll do some demonstrations, is that we want to ensure that babies should be sleeping alone in their cribs. There really should be nothing in a crib. There should be no blankets, no pillows, no bumpers in a crib at all. And one of the other concerns we have is with bed sharing. We really do not encourage any type of bed sharing, because what can happen is not only is there SIDS, sudden infant death, but there's also an opportunity for suffocation. So even though it's not the intent, but an adult or a toy or whatever can roll over on a child and potentially suffocate that child. And so in order to prevent that, we really discourage bed sharing, and a child should really be by themselves in the bed. So again, we thank you as the health department. We hope these cribs get out to many people that we know need them. Again, oftentimes they want to have cribs, but they can't afford cribs. So this is an excellent, excellent opportunity, one, to share the information, and I encourage people to share the information, and also just to have healthy children here in Brooklyn. Thank you.
Thank you. We want to also invite one of the mothers who will be the recipient of the crib, Ms. Evelyn Ray Donan. She's a local Brooklyn parent. Come forward. About a bundle of joy.
Well, thank you, Borough Campaign, for this amazing opportunity for me and my daughter. It's really thankful that you guys have the honor to be here with us. And me and her have been really gone through a lot of stuff, which is really thankful to God that me and her are today here with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Does that put a face to what we are accomplishing and what we're doing here? Is really was really one of the most exciting things we did here in Borough Hall, and we thank you for giving us the opportunity. And my partner, my buddy, Joe is just a remarkable person, and his team, the Delta crew, and what they're doing, and we really appreciate it. To give 400 cribs to families on a consistent level is just a remarkable feat that the Delta crew is doing. And so, Joe, please say a few words.
Thank you, Eric. First of all, I have to say you're amazing. The Brooklyn Borough President, when I brought the information to him and I explained to him what the situation was, he jumped on it. He exceeded all of my expectations in terms of creating this event and creating this opportunity to educate all parents on safe sleep, on SIDS, on dangers, and how to keep our children safe. Dr. Maybank, I'm amazed at what you've done. to make this happen as well. You're devoted to the cause, and it's beautiful. It's really inspiring to all of us. I must first of all acknowledge that my father, Lou Shammy, I'm just following in his footsteps. He's the individual that made it happen, founder of the company, started it, and made sure that my brother and I, Sam and I, pledged to always make sure to make the safest products and to educate parents on safe sleep, as well as to always give back to the community, because that's our responsibility. That's what life's all about. It's not just success, it's helping others. I thank my crew here, the Delta crew. These guys, without them, nothing's happened. So I really appreciate everything that they do for us. As well as Eric's team, who put this all together. I'd like to take a few minutes to go over some of the cribs. So I'm going to take a look. Hello? Okay. So I just want to give some safe tips to all parents, everybody, those receiving the cribs today and those that are having a baby and those that have a child right now already. First of all, if you're just giving birth, you're buying a new crib, make sure you buy it from a reputable store. Make sure you buy a JPMA approved crib, a certified crib, a crib that's been tested to the latest safety standards. You don't want an old crib, basically compare it to a car without seatbelts, without anti-lock brakes, and your grandpa's crib. It's not safe. New JPMA certified crib. If you go on our website, deltachildren.com, you'll witness what we do to test a crib and make sure that your crib is safe. You got the crib, you bring it home. When you bring your crib home today, make sure that whoever's putting together the crib reads the instructions entirely. It's not intuitive. Read every bit of that instruction, make sure it's safe. Read all the warnings. There's a list of warnings on the crib, and those warnings are imperative that you read it. I compare it to the microwave or your VCR. VCR a little outdated on the VCR, but no one reads those. The crib, read every bit of those warnings. Anything to do with your children, you want to read every bit of your warnings. Okay, so let's go over to this crib. Nice crib, it's assembled properly, it's solid, it looks great. A lot of issues here. Number one, as the doctor said, no blankets. Blankets out. Your child does not need a blanket to keep warm. Use a sleep sack. Plush toys. We all love plush toys. I still sleep with one a little bit. Out. No plush toys. Pillows. I sleep with about 8 of them. No pillows for your child. Out. Okay. Again, you want a clean sleeping environment. The monitor. Yes, it's imperative that you have a monitor. It's very important because if you're sleeping in another room, if you're in the kitchen, if you're in the washroom, wherever it may be, you need a monitor. The monitor should never, ever be in the crib, on the crib, or even within arm's reach of the crib. The monitor can be nearby. Well, I'm going to leave it on the floor for now, but it could be nearby on a dresser or someplace, but it should never be within an arm's reach of the crib. The child could get tangled up in that monitor. That would take a safety product and turn it into an issue. Balloons. I'm sure someone congratulated this parent with some nice set of balloons, and this is a danger. I can't get it off now, but anyway, this is a danger. The balloon will eventually lose its inflation and fall into the crib, and this is a literal strangulation hazard, a major no-no. No balloons. Give them back to the person that gave them to you. That's it. The mobile. It's good to have a mobile when the baby is newborn, infant, laying flat. The second the baby is starting to get up, starting to move around, this becomes from a nice little toy to a danger. No mobiles. Out. Bottom line, clean sleeping environment. Nothing that could get your child in trouble. Very, very clean and simple. Also, don't put it near a window. Window shades, blinds, all those cords they could strangle on one day. You're thinking of your child as the infant when they're newborn and they're laying in the crib and you're thinking everything's perfect. They're going to start to move around. They're going to start to reach out of the crib. And when that happens is when the danger happens. You're not going to be there. So nothing near the crib, no steam pipes, no Venetian blinds. Just take your arm, go around the entire crib and see what you can touch. All those are no-nos. A child should not be able to touch a single thing. A lot of other things, issues to think about, but I covered most of them. Read the warnings, and the most important thing I can tell all your parents is you follow these steps, child's gonna be safe, no problems, no issues. And again, I go to number one, give them a hug, give them a kiss, give them lots of love, and they're gonna be fantastic. Enjoy them.
We also want to acknowledge Nelly Velasquez is here from Assemblyman Felix Ortiz's office, and Jovia Radix is here from the governor's office, the Brooklyn rep. We want to hear from one more family member who's receiving a crib here today, Ms. Devora Labowitz.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to thank the Borough President and Delta children for their concern for our babies and for their Safe Sleep campaign that will help many mothers in our community that do not have the ability to buy a new crib, to replace cribs that have been broken with use, since they're probably using the crib they first got when their first baby was born for child number 6, 7, or 8. We are very, very thankful for the Borough President and for Delta children, the owners, and the crew that you helped make this happen. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Notice the numbers. She said baby 6, 7, or 8. We need the help of the media. We have about 50 or 60 more cribs left out of the 400. And so if you know a family that is in need, please call 718-802-4042 to find out how to get access to the crib. And I think that both Dr. Maybank, Joe Shammy, and the Borough President's Office, we are clearly stating that it is a safe environment. This is the video that we will be handing out and placing on YouTube and handing out to family members so that they can have it. We're going to team up with our hospitals to play in hospitals so that it would be very useful information. Happy Mother's Day. I am Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams. It is important to value all moms on Mother's Day and make sure that mothers and fathers have the assistance they need in providing safe care for their children. Our goal as advocates for children is to make sure that all babies have the right start to succeed in life. This starts from the very beginning, making sure our mothers have adequate prenatal care and our babies are in a good, safe environment. Through our Safe Sleep campaign, we will educate parents on what they need to do to ensure that their babies are sleeping safely and properly. It is now my pleasure to introduce the amazing Dr. Aletha Maybank, Assistant Commissioner of the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Dr. Maybank.
Thank you, Mr. President. Being a parent or caretaker can be stressful and overwhelming at times. However, it is important to know that there are many steps that you can take to make sure your child is safe while they sleep. Sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, can happen to a child between 1 and 4 months old, and the exact cause often remains unexplained even after thorough investigation. There are several factors that increase a baby's risk for SIDS, such as babies born with a low birth weight, drug use during or after mom's pregnancy, exposure to tobacco before, during, or after pregnancy, and especially dangerous is allowing babies to sleep with adults. Co-sleeping with people and objects creates a situation where someone can unintentionally roll on top of the baby or right next to the baby, or a toy or blanket can cover the mouth or nose, all preventing the baby from breathing properly. Babies at younger ages are not able to turn themselves over, nor do they have the same ability to wake themselves up as easily as older children and adults. It is important to know that there are many steps that you can take to decrease the risk of SIDS by always placing a baby in a safe sleep environment. For more support, you can always call 311 or New York City's 24-hour prevention and parent helpline at 1-800-CHILDREN or 1-800-244-5373.
Now I would like to introduce Joe Shammy, President of Delta Children. Joe is a Brooklyn native. The Delta Children's story began in Brooklyn, and their mission with the Safe Sleep campaign is to educate parents nationwide on the importance of creating a safe sleep environment for their children.
Many parents don't know the basics of safe sleep when setting up their nursery. Let's take a look at the simple steps parents can take to create a safe sleep environment for their baby. Congratulations, you're about to become a parent. When you're purchasing a crib, please purchase your crib from a reputable retailer. All Delta Children cribs are JPMA certified. In fact, go to our website, deltachildren.com, and you can witness a crib being tested. You will be amazed at what we do to keep your children safe. I emphasize, please read every bit of that instruction sheet. There's no extra screws in the box. If you have an extra screw at the end, sorry, you made a mistake. Let's move on. You've assembled it, you purchased it from the right person, and you place it in the room. Looks great, sturdy, solid, but there's so many mistakes just in this one crib right here. This cord could accidentally strangle your child. These Venetian blinds could actually harm your child. Same thing with the simple curtains. You need to place the crib further away from any windows, any treatments whatsoever. You have over here also lighting. Lighting could actually be pulled and fall into the crib. There's a steam pipe or a radiator. They could burn themselves on the steam pipe. I'm going to move on to over here to the dressing table. You have pictures here. These pictures, accidentally, the child could reach up. Ouch, sorry, but imagine if that was the child sitting there. So let's move over to this crib over here. Person that assembled this did a great job. They placed it in the center room, not near anything. Set looks great. Lots of mistakes. Number one, there's a pillow inside the crib. Your child does not need a pillow. In fact, that pillow could suffocate them. Out. Plush toys. I love plush toys. I hug them. They're beautiful. They're great. Not for the child. Out. No blankets needed. The child could slip underneath this blanket while you're sleeping at night. That child could slip under the blanket and suffocate. You need to keep a very, very clean environment. Over here, you probably went to a nice party, got some nice balloons, someone congratulated you. This is something that a child could strangle on. So, no attachment. Don't tie anything to the crib, please. I know you're concerned about your child. You want to hear every bit. Don't put the monitor in the crib. Don't put the monitor near the crib. The mobile. As soon as the child is standing up, you don't want a mobile because they could hurt themselves on it. Again, out. Simple, clean, sleeping environment.
Thanks, Joe. Those are great tips that all parents can follow to keep their children safe. Delta Children is making a generous donation to the Safe Sleep campaign so that we can provide cribs and play yards to 400 families in need. Our office will coordinate with community partners to make sure families who may not be able to provide a safe sleeping space for their babies can now lay them down every night in a safe sleeping environment. For more information, you can contact our office at 718-802-4042. As One Brooklyn, we must remain committed to keeping all our Brooklynites healthy and safe, including the newest ones to join us, our precious babies. Thank you. So I think that we walk away understanding that something cute and cuddly as the Brooklyn Borough President bear or the Delta bear. We want to educate parents that simple items can endanger their child. A safe, clean crib is a safe, clean household, and it's a safe, clean pathway to raising a healthy child. I thank you very much, and we're open to any questions at this time. I thought I saw one of our pregnant New York One reporters. Okay.
Where's Aaron? Aaron.
Well, Delta Cribs is a business, but the goal is that we try to target, he has done this this is not the first year, he has done it for a number of years. And so we try to target those high-need families, and we receive that information based on local community-based organizations. So 400 cribs is a really good, solid, substantial number, and we're going to try to address as many parents that are in need as possible.
Can I add to that a second? Two things I'd like to add to that. Number one, Eric, because you've been so devoted, Dr. Maybank, we will increase that donation as the year goes on. I won't promise you a number at this point, but we will increase it. Thank you. And we've been going around the country, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Atlanta, to cities all around the country, giving away. We've given away several thousand over the past 8-9 months, and we're going to continue to do that. And Brooklyn's my home base, so we're going to make sure we do that. One more point: you could buy a really safe crib for $129. That meets the latest, newest standards. I'm not just talking about Delta Crib, but there's many of my competitors that you go out to some good reputable stores. So it's not that. It's a lot of money, but for years of service, it's a good investment.
And I'd also like to add that we have other programs that the New York City Department of Health also partners with, such as Crib for Kids, that we've been giving out cribs for many years as well to parents who cannot afford them either. So you can call 311 to get more information about how to get a crib. Sure. So I love the bears. So in New York City, what we know, and the number that was provided earlier was really a national number. In New York City in 2012, we had about 4 SIDS deaths really across the city. However, the bigger picture and the bigger story comes in, again, the sleep-related injuries, such as suffocation, and that number was up to 42 in 2011. So again, those deaths are really pretty preventable. And so the 3 things that I always say is, 1, always sleep and put the baby on the back when the baby has to go to sleep. Baby should be on the back. 2, as you've heard already, nothing in the crib. And 3, no bed sharing. We can do room sharing and having the crib in the room, but no bed sharing.
Okay. Thank you very much, and thank you, team. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Fantastic.